Good day, everybody. Well, yeah, the saga continues. And I guess I should just start putting these things into a playlist because we're here again on this fine weekend of ours. And a video has come out from Illinois, of all places, of a lawmaker named by the name of Chesney going on a rant on the floor. It takes about a minute. I'll let him have his time and speak. And I just want to point out a big thing that I thought that this was video worthy for. So here you have fun.
It's precisely about feelings. Folks, if you want to know why kids are confused and why people do crazy stuff, this is exactly why. Biological males cannot get pap smeared. It's not possible. It is physically and anatomically impossible. It's not even following science. People don't understand why we're kind of, do goofball things. This is why, right? Biological women cannot go get a prostate exam. It's not possible. Right? So we can do all the gender feel-good garbage, but this is why our kids are confused. This is why your kids are dressing up as furries and want kitty litters in the bathrooms. It's because you guys won't follow science. There are two genders. There are two genders possible. There's not three, there's not four, there's two. The crazy stuff like this is why people are confused, and the kids don't know what the hell's going on because they're confused because of legislation like this. Drop the pronoun crap. There are two genders, period.
So, a very, very disturbing insinuation that this lawmaker has is basically around the premise that children are confused. And the reason he believes that children are confused, okay, is because of how legislation is written. Go back and watch it again. Listen very closely. He starts off with his argument. He ends it on, children are confused because of legislation. Well, Mr. Lawmaker, if your children are reading legislation and interpreting legislation, you should sign them up for an AP course. Because at least in the world that I live in, adults barely read legislation. And you're insinuating that children are learning and reading legislation, and that legislation is their primary form of education. If we are learning via laws, if we're learning via legislation, we as a society have a problem. Because let's face facts, in the modern era, legislation is the terms of service of the government. They're that long, big arse little list of things that people go, yeah, I agree to it, whatever, I agree to the terms, whatever, just let me live my life, man. Right? Let me use your thing, man. Like, I don't care. Like, scroll, click. Like, cause and it's like you can hardly blame them, right? Because here's the thing: with all the legislation that we have in our world, like you have federal in the United States, you have federal legislation, and then you have state legislation, and you have county legislation, and then you have city municipality legislation, right? If we were to have a baby come out of the womb, we would have to have that baby reading from the day they're born to the day they die to understand and read all of the laws that are on the books for all possible situations. And if you believe that a child has to be led by legislation into the learning about the world around them and acting in the world around them instead of through their personal experiences and through education, then you have a problem because you don't understand how the real world works. You live in a bubble. You don't understand. You got to go out and touch grass a little bit. Legislator, lawmaker, man. I don't know what your official title is. But I think you did miss him. He certainly missed a calling, honestly, because like Mr. Chesney's colleague here, she can hardly stay in her chair. She's looking back at her colleague like, is this guy for real? Like, what is this? Am I doing this? Like, there's a word that, because kids are smarter than you think they are. Because younger children have come up with a word for stuff like that. It's called cringe. This lady is kind of trying to hold back a laugh and sort of cringing and wincing in her chair like, oh my God, is this guy serious? He just lob the word furries on a public forum as if this is something to take seriously. And that the rumors about cat pans in the bathrooms and pretending to be kitty cats in the bathrooms is something to take seriously. And it can't be taken seriously, and here's why. Here's the thing. We've had this cat pan rumor going on 2 years now. 2 years. 2 years. Cat pan in the bathroom. Cat pan in the bathroom. Cat pan in the bathroom. So of all the kids that are acting like cats and having cat pans in the bathrooms, allegedly, which it absolutely doesn't exist, there's no evidence of it. Why have we never heard a rumor about a kid pretending to be a dog? Right? Like, that's never a thing. Like, they never go, oh, well, I heard in this one school there was a kid who pretended to be a dog and they pooped on the floor. Like, they never go into that thing. And want to know why? I want to know why I think that is. I think it's because Republicans like dogs. Republicans don't like cats, right? The right-wing people who spread these kind of rumors around, they don't like dogs. Or they don't like cats, they like dogs. They love dogs because dogs are loyal. Dogs are loyal and they can whoop the dog if they do something bad and try to whip them into loyalty and stuff like that. They can do those kind of things. With a cat is a free spirit. A cat's a frickin' hippie, man. The cat will go around your house knocking over things. If you have loose cans and stuff like that, they'll push it off the table. They're just a chaotic mess. They just sit there and they demand that you feed them. And also, they're not impulsive. You could put a whole dish of food on their floor and they don't eat it like it's the last very meal of their day. And they're not pining for every single drop of sustenance that they can throw their way, like a loyal thing that they could throw some meat at and look at how much power they have over that dog. Because they could say, hey, sit, I'm putting the food on the ground. Okay, go. Yes, eat that food fast. I will take it away from you if you don't. Look at the power I have over this mangy mutt. That's my theory anyway. Because why? Why wouldn't you spread the rumor that kids are pretending to be dogs? Because Republicans would love it if more kids would act like dogs than cats. Remember that. Anyways, this was a seriously non-serious video, as you can tell. I've got my kickback and relax t-shirt on. But it's hard to take this kind of stuff really seriously, especially with a lawmaker who believes that apparently kids learn about the world through whatever words are thrown out by some weird guys in suits and fancy-looking chairs. But speaking of fancy-looking chairs, can I just note here, some weird at the beginning here. Here's the beginning photo of this. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see this more. I'm gonna zoom this out a bit. What is with these weird stains on the back of the chairs that are head shaped? Do they rotate their padding so that the greasy hair of these guys are just because you see that like here, right down at the bottom corner here, you can see the mouse, right? Can you see the mouse? No, I don't think you can. But at the bottom right corner, right, you see that weird silhouette of a hair thing. It's like they rotate the back of the thing. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's just you guys are supposed to be fancy. Your chairs look like you had somebody sitting on against the back of them for whatever reason, or I don't know what the heck is going on. Anyways, this is why our kids are confused these days, because there's weird head impression marks on the back of our lawmakers' chairs. Don't know. You can't unsee it once you see it, and I apologize. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this one. Kick that like, kick the subscribe button, kick a comment in the comment section, and have a good one. Thanks, guys.